Good morning, friends. I'm so excited today to share a book with you that is all about a beautiful flower and a little girl. This story is called Chrysanthemum, and it's written and illustrated by Kevin Hankes. Chrysanthemum is the name of the flower that you see right here and right here, which is the cover of the story. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Can you all say that with me? I know, it's a long word. Let's break it down. Chrysanthemum. Say it with me. Chrysanthemum. It is this girl's name, and it is also, like we said at the beginning, the name of that beautiful, beautiful flower. Chrysanthemum grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loves her name. She said, I love my name. Look at her. Look at those pictures. She grew from a little baby in a high chair, going down the slide, riding a bike, reading a book, getting taller. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. She loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. Just like that when she got it on her name was on a letter in the mail. She loved the way it looked when it was written in icing on her birthday cake right there. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it all by herself with her fat orange crayon right there. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. That was her name. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum, school. But when her teacher, Miss Chud, took roll call, checking that all the friends were here, all the rest of the friends giggled when they heard Chrysanthemum's name. I think that they're giggling. I wonder why they're giggling. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a name they've never heard before. But just because something is new doesn't mean I don't think that they're being very caring right now. I wonder, look at Chrysanthemum's face. Oh no. Oh, she was so excited about her name, and I don't think she's feeling the same way anymore. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. And you're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. Ugh, wilted is like the word that you use for a flower when it's not so pretty anymore and they start to dry up. The leaves start to dry up when the flower might begin to look sad. Chrysanthemum is beginning to look sad. Oh no, something has changed. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chudd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing this with us, Victoria, said Miss Chudd. Now, please put your head back down for rest time. If I had a name like yours, I would change it, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. And I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Oh, she went to school loving her name, and she came home thinking that she did not love it anymore. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower. Chrysanthemum was crying. She felt so sad. Oh, psh, said her mother, your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parchetti. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane, and it was an extremely pleasant dream. Oh, Chrysanthemum is starting to feel so sad about her name that she wishes it was something else. But remember at the beginning of the story, she loved her name so much. Oh, I love her name. I think it's beautiful. I hope she can come back and remember that even if other people, maybe the friends at school right now, don't think her name is so great, she can still love it just as much. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper, walked to school as slowly as she could, and she dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's see if we can smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. Goodness, these friends are not being haver tovs. They are not being good friends, kind or caring. A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things, Victoria shared. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria. Now please put your head down. I cannot believe your name, Victoria said to all the students. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I look like a flower and they want to smell me. Oh, psh, said her mother. They are just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, her mother said. After all, it's absolutely perfect, said her father, just like you. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with books and kisses and parchetti. Her parents were able to make her feel better, just like the parents in the book we read last week helped the little girl feel better. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals, and Victoria picked them one by one until there was nothing left. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and all her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route to school possible. She stopped and stared at every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle. La la la, she was the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were all speechless. They thought Miss Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Miss Twinkle led the students in scales. She assigned roles for the class music hall. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Jo was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. I noticed that it looks like Miss Twinkle, that her belly has a face on it. And it looks like it's very round. I think something might be growing inside of Mrs. Twinkle's belly. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy. Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. But Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. What's so humorous? Asked Miss Twinkle. Chrysanthemum was the answer. Her name is so long, it scarcely fits on her name tag. I'm named after my grandmother, and she's named after a flower. My name is long, said Miss Twinkle. It is, said Jo. My name would scarcely fit on a name tag, said Miss Twinkle. It would? Asked Rita. And, said Miss Twinkle, I'm named after a flower too. You are? Said Victoria. Yes, said Miss Twinkle. My name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby, a baby's in her belly. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Jo and Rita and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Jo. Call me Carnation, said Rita. Call me Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. Wow. Not only do mommies and daddies help people feel better, but teachers too. Look at how Miss Twinkle helped Chrysanthemum feel better. Overall, the class musicale was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made the only mistake. She forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. But that's okay. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and they all giggled together throughout the entire Dance of the Flowers. Eventually, Mrs. Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named her Chrysanthemum. The end. So, friends, in this story we read today was all about a little girl who loves her name, but when friends were being unkind and not caring, she started feeling about her name a little bit differently. But just like we learned about last week, grown-ups are always there to help us feel better. Miss Twinkle helped Miss Chrysanthemum feel better. Mommies and daddies helped Chrysanthemum feel better in the story. And I know that you guys have important people that are in your homes that make you feel better. And you know that me, Katie, and Stacy, and Deborah are always here to make you feel better too. I can't wait to see what pictures you draw today from our Writers Workshop Monday. All right, friends. Bye.